I'm Dana. Welcome to this week's video. Today I want to talk about something called a sleep debt and give you a few pointers on identifying whether or not your child is carrying a sleep debt. First of all, a sleep debt is basically you have a certain number of hours you need to sleep every night to feel refreshed every morning. Let's say for me it's 8. And if I go to sleep tonight and I only get 7, then I'm going to start my day with a bit of a debt. Because I needed 8, I only got 7, I have basically an hour of debt. I go through my day collecting fatigue, I go to bed that night, and let's say I only get 7 again. Now I wake up the next morning and I have 2 hours of sleep debt from the night and then this night, and if that continues, you can see how quickly you could accumulate a fairly large debt around your sleep. And what tends to happen is that people push themselves and their debt grows and they get more worn out and the body doesn't have enough time to repair and fix the immune system in the way that it needs to, and we get ill. You know, we get a cold or we get the flu, and that forces our body to relax, sleep more, catch up on some of that debt, and then continue on. So, you know, when you look at all the adults you know in your life, we are almost all operating on some level of debt. I mean, I try to be really protective of my sleep because I need to practice what I preach, but a lot of people do not, and they really abuse that. So a lot of people are carrying a debt. But how does that translate into children? Well, same thing. Every child needs a certain quota of sleep in a night, and let's say it's roughly 10 to 12 hours. It's more than an adult, I'll tell you that much. And if they're going to bed and only getting 8 or 9 for a couple of nights in a row, then their debt is going to collect. Okay, so how do you know if your child's running on a debt? Well, there's a couple of really clear tips. One is if your child falls asleep in the car or in the stroller, within 2 or 3 minutes of being in the car or the stroller, they most likely are operating on a debt. Unless it's, of course, it's an actually scheduled nap time, you know, and you're planning, we're going to walk for your nap today, then that's different. But if, you know, it's not nap time and every time you get her in that car seat, she's out, then she is operating on a debt. Same thing if your child goes to sleep at bedtime and falls asleep like that, you know, a minute or two and bang, they're out. People who are in debt or chronically overtired tend to fall asleep very quickly. You know, lots of people tell me they're asleep the minute their head hits the pillow, right? Then I know you're operating on a debt, because the average person who is well rested, not in debt, takes at least 5 minutes and often more like 15 to actually fall asleep. So your body does need a little bit of time once you get to that bed to kind of settle in and let sleep come naturally. And so 5 minutes is really the minimum that we're looking for as far as debt goes. Okay, so how do you improve upon a debt if you're carrying one? Well, the good news is if you start to regulate your schedule so that you're going to bed at the same time every night and you're getting up at the same time every morning, within about 4 weeks, your body will have paid off the debt, be functioning well. You're going to feel better than you've ever felt. I know weekends are tempting because you like to stay up late and sleep in, but that's really not good for our body clock. That's really not the way it was designed. So the good news for kids is most kids go to bed at bedtime, right? My kids are in bed at 8, lights out at 8:30, and they wake up at 7 a.m. Even on weekends, this happens. I'm pretty strict about keeping that going for them because I know that's the way their bodies need to work. And so have a good look. Honestly, most children need at least an hour more sleep than they're getting. And that's just statistics that I'm talking here. Most children are missing at least an hour. So just even try adding an hour of nighttime sleep to your child's schedule. Stick to it for 4 weeks and you will find that that debt goes away. She's not falling asleep in the car every time you get in, and then you can feel really good about the great quality sleep your child's getting. All right, thanks for watching today. Sleep well.